Welcome back to the Five. So have you heard this story yet? Pittsburgh Steeler Troy Polamalu, I knew I was going to get that wrong, who, I should say, has a history of concussions, had to leave the game last week after possibly getting another one on the field. So he makes a quick call to let his wife know he was okay, and the NFL slapped him with a $10,000 fine. Now, I'm glad that, Bob, as you've moved up in the blocks, I have moved way down to the D block. And this is something, football, that I know a ton about.
Yes.
So, Eric, can you please tell me what happened?
Well, first, can I point out, this is the genius behind the Five. Dana doing the segment on football. Fantastic.
I even pitched the story, actually.
You did, didn't
that's
you?
true.
Troy Polamalu gets on the phone on the sidelines. And here's the problem. You can't do that. There are rules. There's a phone anywhere in the locker room. He's got to go to the locker room. Make your phone call to your wife from the locker room. Come on. You remember a couple of years ago when Ocho Cinco pulled a phone out of his leg after he scored a touchdown?
Like the Bionic Man?
Come on, guys. Take the game seriously.
Oh, come on.
They make 8, 10,
But don't you think
$15 million bucks
but do the rules need to change and evolve with
so he can call his wife?
Well,
No. NFL stands for National Totally Awesome.
Right.
Because
Can you spell?
it doesn't
At all?
This is such a great thing for players. From now on, they never have to call their wives. They're going like, why don't you call me? I can't, I'll get fined. They could be at practice, they could be out drinking, they could do whatever they want. It's always like, if I call, I'll get fined.
Greg,
the NFL just did a great favor.
It doesn't apply to you, I'm sorry.
How does he get concussed with all that fabulous hair? I have hair and
I wonder who has longer hair.
You know, one of the things we should say about this is he has a history of concussions. Concussions are a major problem in football generally, in the National Football League. I agree with Eric that you can't, be having guys using cell phones to call their families or their bookies, or their girlfriends or whatever. But in this case, I think there ought to be at least given some slack on this because he had concussions and his wife was worried about it. Here's the problem with the NFL.
Got a little baby.
They're so worried about setting rules for their own image, and yet they don't seem to have enough rules to protect their people, their players, from serious injury. I think this is significant in the fact that the NFL will go out of their way to find this guy, and yet don't seem to spend all that much time or money focusing on concussions.
Well, why don't they find the guys when they have fights?
Well, they do find them for fights. I mean, they have that. Yeah. But look, they did. You had two coaches go at it 2 weeks ago. That made the news for a week. Yeah, they didn't hit each other, but it was pretty loud and pretty unpleasant.
So what's the point?
Well, I think the coaches should have been fined.
Okay, well, here's somebody else who's in trouble for another football-related thing, but this is actually a little bit more fun. It's about a streaker. So there's this guy named Jace Michael Lankow, and he's an undergraduate, University of Arizona College of Agriculture and Life Sciences. He dressed up as an official and streaked during the final seconds of the second half of the Arizona-UCLA game Thursday night. What he didn't realize is, while this was like a prank, Kimberly, he is now, he was arrested. He could actually spend 18 months in jail, which I think his worry, wow.
Nobody wears that.
Oh, he's in shape.
Kimberly, sit down.
Can we get a tight shot of that?
Kimberly, I don't know if we can recover here. Greg, you sent this one out. Why do you think it's so interesting?
Well, it goes back to my my original principle that streaking would be legal if all streakers were hot.
This is true.
And also, nobody under 23 ever thinks about what their actions are going to be when they're older. Like when you're 50, there's going to be footage of you streaking.
The best is when someone comes on the field and they try and streak and they do that. One of the football players just tattoos.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
But usually streakers don't look like that.
Well, let's be honest. That guy's like straight off the cover of Men's Health. So he's like, check me out with the abs and the whole, and you know.
Well, let's say I pitched the first story with the guy with the long hair, and Greg pitched that story with the streaker.
So
what are you trying to say?
I'm just
because he's a hot-looking dude. Is that it? Is that what you're saying? It's okay to do that?
I'm just interested in exercise. The man was just trying to exercise. That's all.
So cute.
Have you ever noticed, though, these colleges allow these kids to get loaded to go to these games, get everybody excited. They want all this, this enthusiasm, and the guy gets on the field. So big deal. What's the problem?
It actually caused a melee between players.
And he was impersonating a ref.
18 months. I mean, that's just absolutely ridiculous.
That was his early Halloween cost. There's no way he's going to get 18 months. He wishes I got that case. All
right, we're going to go.
I bet you wish you got that case.
You should
You'll fly right down there and take care of that boy. Hey, you got yourself a free lawyer right here. Just get hold of the Five, and Kim will be right down to help you, boy.
Gotta help.
We gotta run.
Wait, aren't you going to take a little victory lap, Tim Tebow?
Oh, I do want to, Tim Tebow, he would definitely call his wife, and he is the Denver Broncos quarterback, and he won yesterday.
Oh, you have
and we're very proud.
And who's a Broncos fan?
I'm a Broncos fan from Colorado. So coming up,
Who's there?
we've got fascinating new details emerging about the life of late Apple genius Steve Jobs. We'll have them for you next on The Five. And Kimberly and I are going to take this 5 minutes to recover.
To try.
Wow.